What you could have won, Dan Coxon. The guidance system they used in the Apollo 11 moon landing only had 64 kilobytes of memory. I bet you didn't know that, did you? That's less than a modern electric toaster. We put men on the moon with a device that couldn't even play Donkey Kong. Here's another one. Which kiwi was named first? The fruit or the bird? No? Nothing? It was the bird. The fruit only got its name in the 1970s, when the New Zealand Marketing Board noticed its similarity to their avian resident. For a bonus point, before then, it was called the Chinese gooseberry. I had that one on Quiz of the Decade. Won myself £2 and a holiday in Portugal. Not bad for a girl who dropped out of school at 16. Someone started a rumour a few years back that I have Asperger's, but that's not it at all. I'm just good at retaining facts, wherever they come from, whatever they are. I can remember my phone number from when I was 5 years old, my best friend's postcode, the number plate of that taxi that took me to Gatwick Airport. Asperger's syndrome was named after an Austrian paediatrician, Hans Asperger. International Asperger's Day is the 18th of February, Hans's birthday. He served in World War II on the wrong side and had alleged connections to the Nazi Party. See what I mean? It was my mum who first suggested that I go for the big one. I'd already done Quiz of the Decade, Number Whiz, Knowledge Quest and Crock of Gold. Finished with the top score of the week in the last two. Brought home over 10 grand, 2 holidays, a top-of-the-range laptop and an ironic cuddly toy. But Question Master, well, that's where the real money was. Weekly prize fund of £500,000. Viewing figures in excess of 2 million. In a couple of cases, the big winners even got book deals. I'm sure you've got a copy of Len Smith's 50 Funky Facts on your bookshelf somewhere, or maybe even in the loo. If not, check down the local charity shop. Did you know that elephants have been known to climb trees? That's one of Len's. They can get up to 6 feet off the ground, using their trunks to pull themselves up among the branches. Probably after bananas, I'd imagine. Still, getting on to Question Master wasn't easy. Before you even made it to the early rounds, you had to submit a CV and take a 30-question test on their website. I scored full marks, of course, finished in under 5 minutes. Broke all sorts of records, so their producer said when he called me. They're used to people cheating, flicking through their dictionaries and encyclopedias to find the answers, phoning a friend. I didn't need any of that. Got it all up here, me. The local heats were in Woking, so we made a day of it. Mum took me to Wetherspoons for lunch. Just soda water for me. She had a glass of Chardonnay to calm her nerves. I was confident though. Personally, I think they gave me the harder questions on purpose after my score on the website. I still won by 20 points. I only got 2 wrong in the entire quiz, and they were both about football. Dad was always the football fan, not me. By the way, Prince Charles uses wine to power his vintage Aston Martin. True that. Google it if you don't believe me. The show itself was scheduled for the 3rd of June, but they were recording it 2 days in advance. Dad said it was so they could bleep out any swearing when contestants got the answers wrong. I wasn't sure if he was kidding me or not. He came with me on the tube, holding my hand, saying he felt like John Travolta, and I was his "Oh Trivia Newton-John." we laughed so hard I thought I'd wet myself. Did you know that Henry Winkler, the Fonz, was originally cast in the Travolta role in Grease? Or that Travolta fell over during one of the dance routines and sprained his wrist? Or Stockard Channing, who plays Betty Rizzo, was once arrested in Dublin for indecent exposure. The queues snaked round the block, but we waltzed through the artist's entrance round the side. I tell you, I felt like a princess that day. My dressing room was bright and posh like the ones you see in films. There were fresh flowers on the dresser. Daffodils are edible and were often served in medieval France as an accompaniment to fish. Roses can grow up to 20 feet high. Flower pollen has been found on the moon. The highlight, of course, was meeting Eamon Richards. My mum always had a crush on him, right from when I was small. I must admit, he's not bad for an older man. He shook my hand and said he was proud to have me on his show. And he'd never had a contestant who'd performed so well in the heats before. It was his privilege, he said. I was going to take the world by storm. And then, I'm sorry. Give me a moment. I'm supposed to own up to it. My therapist told me that. Say it out loud, make it real. So, yeah, I'm sorry. None of that's quite right. It's not exactly how it happened. I won a couple of small quiz contests when I was younger. That much is real. Number whiz, right answer right now. I doubt you remember that one. I do have the ironic cuddly toy on my shelf, but I never won most of the other stuff. And I entered Question Master. I did. This was 10 years ago, though. You won't have seen me on it. I didn't make it that far. I got knocked out in the first round, the one they don't even show on TV. Closest I got to Eamon Richards was watching him turn to the other contestants as I was ushered off the stage. As for Dad, he didn't take me. He wasn't in any shape to. He was lying in a hospital bed at that point on the other side of London. Lung cancer, final stages, inoperable. Mum said I should defer my entry in the quiz. But I was so confident, so full of it. I thought I could cure him somehow if I did well enough. If I could be a winner, then anything was possible. But instead, I was at Television Centre when he passed. By the time I got to the hospital, they'd taken him away. Mum was crying by herself, waiting for me in the lobby. I didn't get to say goodbye. My therapist says I'm still reliving the pain from that day, 10 years on. I don't know about that. I know I have problems with the truth sometimes, so I'm sorry, again. It's just who I am. I didn't mean anything by it. I think I'm going to go for a lie down now, take my vitamin D supplements. They help with your memory, you know. I've got a sprig of rosemary under my pillow too. The ancient Greeks used to swear by it. They'd wear it behind their ears if they ever wanted to remember something. Honestly, it's true, that one. Google it if you don't believe me.